guys, Netta, and this Cups Mindset, where we talk everything finance, investing, mindset, and productivity. And today we're going to be talking about inflation and what the Fed said about inflation, their new outlook, and how this affects us as investors in stocks. So if you do enjoy this video, feel free to smash that like button and also subscribe if you want more content like this, as I want to keep you informed and keep you on your toes as an investor for the long term. So let's get straight into the video. We have a lot to cover. Okay, so the Fed at first was saying that they don't think that inflation is going to last for a long time, right? They think it's going to be momentary inflation and that it will settle and eventually will be back to normal. And now they still have the same outlook. However, they said that they did underestimate the amount of inflation that they thought they were going to see in the short term. So now they're kind of saying, okay, we think we're going to see more inflation than we expected in the short term. And then in the long term, I think they still have the same outlook, that they think that we won't have long-term lasting inflation, but they do think that the short-term inflation that we will see will be higher than expected. Now, what does this do for us as investors in stocks? This causes us to see, okay, so outlook for the future means that in the long future that inflation won't be super high in the eyes of the Fed, and so that's kind of our outlook for that, but that right now we think it is. And so with inflation being high now, it means consumers are going to be spending less as things are getting more expensive, and businesses need to hike up the prices. People aren't making as much to meet those prices. People just wait to buy those goods and services because they're like, hey, it's super expensive right now. Why not wait until later when we think it's going to be cheaper? So this finally gets Wall Street into the circle where it's like, okay, so what right now has high valuation, but that's based for the future? Tech stocks. And tech stocks had a crazy dip. Tech stocks are down, as opposed to recovery, as opposed to banks and all these things that are priced to perfection, especially recovery. Recovery was a trade I was in and I loved it. I was in since the beginning of the pandemic. Actually, no, not the beginning, since September, since the last September. I was in, and then I sold United Airlines and all my other recovery type stocks a little while ago. Why did I do that? Because they were priced to perfection. They were priced to, okay, we're gonna go back perfectly. And yes, the vaccine was good, but the vaccine, it doesn't fix all our problems. There's still a lot of problems that are still yet to be seen or yet to be carried out completely post-COVID. So we need to see how that works out. And a lot of these recovery stocks are priced to utter perfection, like as if they were going to return, go back as the business that they had before and just keep running like that. But that's not true. That's not exactly what's going to happen. Yes, consumers want to get out. Yes, consumers want to do this and that and all these things. However, we're going through a big shift right now, and it's hard for everyone to just be like, oh, everything's going to be fine now after we printed 25% of the world's amount of money in circulation. So it's hard for us to just be like, it's gonna be fine, because yes, we will see inflation, and that's what we see the shift where maybe we're gonna go back into tech, or maybe we're gonna see that rally in tech. And I think that's very much a possibility now, because if short term we're seeing a lot of inflation, why would we buy things that are priced to perfection? This is just like psychology. Why would you buy something that's priced to perfection for the now if the dollar that you're buying with now is worth less, right? Instead, you want to bet on the future, where when you sell, it'll be worth more, which tech is more for the future. Tech has further guidance. What I'm looking at right now are those big tech stocks, because yeah, there's the smaller ones there's the more volatile ones that you can get into, and those are great as well. However, I'm looking more at Apple and Google and these big tech companies. I'm looking to get more in them and get some more exposure there, because I think that big tech will do good in this moment of long inflation, or of high inflation for a short period of time, because everyone's looking at it like right now there's high inflation, but in the future there won't be. So let's invest in things that in the future will do very well. And a lot of companies that are for the now are priced to perfection, like I've already said. So that's kind of just the outlook that we're getting from the Fed. The Fed's same idea, except that they switched up a tiny bit, where they're saying, okay, we think there's going to be higher inflation, but still for the short amount of time. So I think we might see inflation numbers that scare people and seem ridiculous. However, it's momentary, and according to the Fed, it's momentary, which I definitely believe, and I think that it does make sense, and I do think it is momentary. So we're gonna have momentary inflation, and in the long term, that's gonna go away, and we're gonna be all right. So with that outlook, I'm continuing to invest in tech, EV, and innovation, and that's kind of where I'm putting my money. Let me know what you think about this and about the new outlook from the Fed. So if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and smash that like button, as I would appreciate it a lot, and it helps with the YouTube algorithm. Also, go ahead and subscribe if you want more content like this, and if you did enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching up to this point. If you want to start investing with the public, down below, you can click on the link down below, get up to $50 of a stock of your choice just for signing up. So I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. This was Kev's Mindset.